I'm Vinod Sharma, Senior Professor of Disaster Management, and today we will discuss reconstruction and rehabilitation. In fact, you might have studied, disaster management cycle, where we have three phases. One is pre-disaster phase, which we do before disaster, that is preparedness and mitigation. One is disaster phase. When disaster happens, then there is relief, search and rescue. This is then post-disaster thing, in which we do reconstruction, rehabilitation, developmental activities. So we will touch just one aspect, and this I will discuss with the help of a case study in Sikkim, because I am working in Sikkim after Sikkim earthquake in 2011 as a Vice Chairman of Sikkim State Disaster Management Authority. And I learned a lot, from that, because I was having theoretical knowledge, but practical knowledge is I gained, from that state, which is a beautiful state. This as you know that the earthquake was there on 18 September 2011, and there was a huge economic loss, though the human life loss was not that much as in other earthquakes, but there was even the secretariat of the state was affected because of this earthquake, and in villages, because you know that it's a very small state, there are 4 districts, and 2 districts were badly affected because of earthquake. And villagers, they lost their houses, and so we always say that there should be a participatory approach, and so I could see participatory approach for the first time. And the authorities in Sikkim, they decide that the list of beneficiaries, that will not be prepared by the officers, that will be prepared by the panchayats. So the local panchayats are very strong in Sikkim, and they give the list that these are the 8,674 beneficiaries. They are the people who lost their house completely, and they need a house. So naturally, when it is given by panchayat with the consensus of the whole village, there was no dispute. So this was one thing, that absolutely there was no dispute when the beneficiaries were selected, and it was honestly done by the people. Then the second part was very interesting. The reconstruction part, though it was a very small reconstruction, in case we see Latur earthquake or we see Gujarat earthquake, this was very smaller one. But important thing is that the technique which they evolved, that was very good. They say that it should be 2-3 things, that it should be participatory. The beneficiary should be involved in reconstruction so that they can own. The second thing was that it should be earthquake resistant. No compromise on earthquake resistant, because now Sindhi framework is saying build back better, but Sikkim did it before that. They started it in 2012 and decide that each and every structure which will be constructed after the earthquake, that will be earthquake resistant. And third thing is that in future also, whenever there is reconstruction, and government money is involved or taxpayers' money is involved, that will be earthquake resistant. So I think these are, and they did it. All the schools which were reconstructed, even the secretariat building which is there in Gangtok now, it is earthquake resistant. In case there is earthquake more than 7 or 8 on Richter scale, the building should not be affected. So I think this is a good point. And what they did is that they decide that how much money is required, for the house. And that money, they give it in 4 installments. first installment was given, and the owner was told that it is up to you, you know. But the only thing is that you will use all the instructions which is given to you, that house should be earthquake resistant. So this was one. The second thing was that it should be in situ. Wherever the house damaged, you will have to reconstruct there. So that was a unique thing. Otherwise, there was ecology loss, there was environmental damage, you know, in case you reconstruct somewhere else, then definitely this you know, the damaged house, you know, that remain over there, and you are constructing somewhere else. So this has not happened, and the entire thing was reused basically in the reconstruction. So this is a very unique thing. Second thing is that they were given, you know, the technical know-how, that these are the things, that way you will have to do foundation. These are the features which is earthquake resistant. These are the different bands, etc. So this knowledge was given, and not only the beneficiaries, but the entire population of Sikkim was educated, and they developed literature in local language and distributed throughout the state. Then there was a problem that how it will be constructed. So they trained the masons, and more than 3,000 masons were trained in the state. And these masons were certified, they were given certificates. They were trained by the IIT people basically. Engineers were trained, about 300 engineers, overseers of the state, they were trained. So this is a very unique type of exercise we did. And decentralization, or mainstreaming, it was there. Mainstreaming in the sense that suppose there is a school building construction, so education department, you know, they took charge of that and they built the schools. Hospitals, health department built hospitals. The village houses, so rural development department, you know, they did that exercise. So the entire government was involved in the reconstruction, and they were knowing what is earthquake resistant features, and this was again unique thing. Last but not the least, important thing was transparency. That whatever going on, they prepared list of the beneficiaries, and all their telephone number, their photographs, their address, everything was written, and they were told that whatever money will be given to you, that will be recorded here. So it was easy to get money from the central government, because the entire reconstruction money was given by the Prime Minister Fund, and 1,000 crore was granted to the state. So the entire reconstruction was from central bank. So the next thing was transparency, and to make it transparent, there was a MIS based app that was prepared, and the full detail of the person was there, and whatever money, how many installment he or she got, that was written over there, and anybody sitting in Gangtok or sitting in Delhi can see that. So that was a unique thing, use of IT, use of science and technology, that was there. So I think this was a unique type of reconstruction which was owned by people. People were very happy. They thought that we have reconstructed it. It was having all earthquake resistant features, which is again required in Himalayan state. In case there is another earthquake, at least these houses will not be affected. The most critical thing is that suppose any assistance given today to anybody, suppose there is a landslide and the house is damaged, so he or she will be asked to have similar practice, earthquake resistant features, and this is a practice in this state, that whenever there will be reconstruction, whenever some money assistance will be given, they will be asked to have earthquake resistant feature, And this was one of the fourth priorities of Sindai framework, which is started in Sikkim. And so we will compare, in this session we will compare the different reconstructions which has happened in this country. Latur, we started in a big way. Of course, before that also 1991 Uttarkashi earthquake, but 99 Chamoli earthquake, but it was a small, reconstruction. Bigger reconstruction was there in Latur, in Maharashtra, and in 1993, and Gujarat earthquake in 2001. So we will compare this, though it was very small reconstruction, but how it was good or bad, in comparison to others. So this will be a case study which we will discuss in this session. Thank you.